I built my career on being real and accessible. But did that backfire? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Franklin Embry. If you're new here, I'm an artist and a creator. And this is my series, Let Me Be Frank. And it's basically a series where we have real and honest conversations with my people, the Embry gang. So if you're new here, welcome. And today we're talking about accessibility. And if you can be, too accessible. I hate being ignored. I hate it with a passion. It doesn't feel good. I struggle a lot with ADHD and rejection dysphoria. So when I'm being ignored, it drives me totally crazy. My mama always taught me to treat people the way you want to be treated. And since I hate being ignored, I don't like to ignore anybody. Being a social media influencer, I spend hours a day replying to comments, DMs, just so I don't make my supporters and the people that support my content feel ignored. You see, the thing with me is I don't ever want my supporters to feel like they don't matter, because I'm not here doing what I do without them. But here's the problem. In this industry, there's this psychology that people believe scarcity equals value. And I'm starting to wonder if that's not true. You see, the more access people have to you, the more regular you look. You're not something special. And that's really why artists are always doing the most to try to look larger than life or bigger than what they really are. Artists are always botting streams, paying for likes, paying for followers, paying for views, paying to go on tour. They're basically paying to look bigger or more popular than they might really be. Heck, I've seen artists go and pay for billboards just so they could go take a selfie in front of it for Instagram, for some likes on Instagram. That's literally why they did it. Likes on Instagram. And to me, that shit is crazy. I've always found it kind of super corny, you know what I'm saying? I've never been one of those people that think it's cool to rent cars, rent models, throw fake money around just for an image. I think that's lame. And to be honest, I feel like it's easy to see right through it. You know what I mean? But the crazy thing is this really happens on every level, from the top down. Remember back in the day when MTV had that show MTV Cribs? Most of the celebrities that were on that show were renting those houses. It wasn't even their real houses. They were renting them just for an image, just to look larger than life. I think that's why I always had so much respect for Redman, because Redman was like, fuck that. Here's my apartment. The freaking doorbell didn't even work. He didn't care. He's like, this is my apartment. This is where I live. You don't like it? Too bad. Tough shit. I don't know. I respected that realness from Redman. And the crazy thing is a lot of artists just go broke trying to look successful. For me, when I started down that path as an artist, I never wanted to be that guy, ever. Sometimes I wonder if I was wrong, because I've seen supporters come and go. I mean, don't get it twisted. There's some real ones that have been with me from day one, since I was Beats by the Blizz, But I've also seen a lot of overturn. I've seen some support for 6 months to a year, and then you never hear from them again, or you never see them again. What, y'all don't like the music no more? What's up? Now, granted, back when I was Frank the Tank, the people that was rocking with me when I was Frank the Tank, I don't expect them to be rocking with me now, because I'm a totally different person than I was back then. So, quick backstory. If you're new here, I used to live stream a lot. I was a heavy drinker, a heavy bourbon drinker, and I would live stream a lot. We would go live and I would act wild. We did this thing called Shots for Share. uh, I was out of hand. It was a train wreck. And, the people that watch that train wreck, I don't expect them to be around now. You know what I'm saying? They was here for the train wreck. You know what I mean? And when I got sober, I expected that audience change up. But like I said, even now, it seems like there's a turnover like every 6 months to a year, I stop seeing some supporters and new supporters come in. And, I get it. Life happens. Life changes quickly. You never know what anybody's going through. But for me, that's when my ADHD starts to kick in. You feel me? That rejection dysphoria. I'm human. I start thinking, damn, did I do something wrong? Do people not rock with me anymore? I just start overanalyzing everything. It's a vicious cycle. And I think for me, in all of my analyzation, I've come to the conclusion that it really is just familiarity. You know what I'm saying? Like, my friends and family, they don't look at me as like I'm Franklin Embry. I'm just John. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Franklin Embry. I'm John. Even take my wife, for instance, because I give her crap all the time, before we were dating and when we first started dating, she was like my biggest fan. And now it seems like I got to remind her, hey, I rap, right? She listens to my music all the time. Now I'm not even in her iTunes top 5. So give her crap. But she's my wife. She sees me daily. She knows my highs. She knows my lows. She knows everything about me. She don't, look at me as some internet celebrity or, something like that. That's just not how she looks at me. And to be honest, that's really where the idea for this episode came from, because I've been asking myself, am I too accessible? Maybe I need to start acting more big time. God, I cringe just saying that. Oh my God. Like, I really hate just even saying that. But there's gotta be a reason why artists do it, right? Like, for me, it always felt super douchey. It just did. But am I tripping? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do you prefer relatable artists, or do you prefer artists that have that like larger than life energy? Does it even matter as long as the content's good? So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna start acting like a big time superstar rapper that's a fucking diva? Probably not. But should I be as accessible as I am? I think that's the real question. You know what I'm saying? And in asking myself that, I keep going back and forth on the way I was raised. Treat people how you want to be treated. And the truth is, I don't think I have it in me to intentionally ignore anybody. It's just my nature. Like, I have a hard time ignoring the haters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I always got to explain myself, even if some people don't even deserve an explanation. That is definitely a struggle. So I'm never going to intentionally ignore anybody. I'm still going to reply to comments. I'm still going to reply to everybody. Now, sometimes a post blows up and you're just unable to, but I'm still going to do my best, because at the end of the day, I still want that core connection with my real supporters. And I still feel like you ain't shit if you ain't authentic. I stand by that, even if it costs me some success. Who gives a fuck? That's just how I'm built. So I'll leave you with this. It's one of my favorite quotes. Comparison is the killer of joy. And to be honest, if I'm being honest with y'all, that's where this whole video came from. Because I've been comparing my journey to other artists' journeys. And I didn't realize that till just now in this discussion. So yeah, I mean, just run your race, be a good person, be yourself, and everything else God will take care of. Like always, Embry Gang, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Till next time, Fat Boy out.